Alright, so you guys can see the 7.3 is back running again. Running good. Nice and crackly. Sounds like brand new. And it's got the new updated Molly pistons in it. So I'm sure we won't have any problems. Runs like a champ. This is the best Ford engine they've ever made for diesels. Not saying that they're great, but they're certainly better than the other ones. Let it warm up a little bit. Sounds like brand new truck. Of course it is, pretty much. After spending $7 grand labor and parts, because I had my guy do it. If I took it into the shop, it'd have been more like 10. Because we have a fleet mechanic. He's really good at rebuilding engines. But he's not really very good at doing like the little, wiring. And he's good at doing wiring, but not on this. I mean, he just, figuring out how to put stuff back like that together. I had to kind of help him out. But yeah, so because I was ASE master auto technician. A lot of you guys say I'm stupid because I said all this crap about Fords. And let me just give you the history on this truck. So let's back up for a second. All right, so I bought this truck in 2007, 2008, and it's about, I guess, about 7.5 years old since I've got it. And since I bought it, I've had to change. Let me go over the parts I've had to change on this truck, and then you'll kind of maybe understand why I say I don't like Fords. Because 180,000 miles and have to put pistons in it, people go, well, you probably put ether in it. I never put ether in the truck. I mean, I'm not that dumb, okay? So it could be that the auction guy put ether in the truck before I got it. But the thing is okay, so after it had ether in it, let's say, if it possibly did, I drove this truck from Southern California to Northern California at least 9 times through the grapevine. Now, if it had ether and had a hairline cracked piston back then, wouldn't you think that it probably would have broke before 30,000 miles? I mean, 35,000 miles is about what I put on it since I've got it. And in that time, I've had to change the oil cooler seals all blew out of it. Of course, that happens to all kinds of people. The turbo pedestal leaked like crazy. Started blowing oil out of there. And then as soon as I got that fixed, a couple other, there was some other stuff that I can't really remember. Oh, this funky air conditioning thing. This pump thing wasn't working when I got the truck. You guys probably all had that problem. And the other thing that went bad is these. If you notice, I don't have braided lines anymore. Right here, this is the high pressure lines blew up, and of course blew oil all over. That's why this thing looks so dirty. That's why this mat's so dirty right here. Is because it was oil soaked like a son of a bitch. I mean, we're talking about oil everywhere. It leaked out. There's a video on this channel you can look up. Ford almost blew the engine. That shows you how much oil leaks out when that does happen. So if you have one of these and you have the original braided lines, I would go on eBay and buy the upgraded ones. So just change them before they go bad, because when it goes, I mean, you lose a gallon of oil in a mile. So you can literally take your engine out in no time. So then after that wonderful episode a few months ago, I've had the piston crack. Now, some guys say, well, it could be ether. Oh, it's possible. I mean, it's possible. We're talking 35,000 miles after a hairline crack was put in the piston. Not likely. But if you look at my other video on the new pistons compared to the old, obviously Mahle knew there was a problem, because they wouldn't just go put more casting together if there wasn't an issue. So some of you guys have been lucky, have had no problem with your pistons. Good for you. That's nice. But when you do have your problem with the piston, and you put up a video saying how you don't like Fords, well, I'm going to say hell yes and give you a thumbs up, okay? Because I've been there. I know what that's like, and it sucks to have to pay all that money out to fix it. Now, if it didn't have this machine on it, it might have gone to a wrecking yard, because it'd be a whole lot cheaper than trying to rebuild this thing, because it's very, very, very labor intensive. So that's all my negative stuff about Ford. Let me tell you all the good things that I found in the 7.3 that are nice. The rods, big fat rods, not like the 6.4. 6.4 has crap for rods. They don't even, I mean, they're just a joke. I can't even believe the 6.4, okay? When I was going to the machine shops looking at stuff, he goes, here, look at these rods. I'm like, holy crap, that's on the 6.4? Oh, yeah. And they're cracked, and they're, you know, just stuff I couldn't believe. Okay. On the 7.3, of course, the crankshaft is super bulletproof. Good job on that. The block, of course, hard as nails, very hard to bore. Cost me a bunch of money to have it bored, because it wears out boring machines. Good job on that. The heads, I don't really like the design much on the heads that they have on these things, but they're made strong. They're built strong. So the only weak point is the pistons, really. And it just depends, I think, possibly on where you are in the casting. So you know how they built something. You start out with something, and then the casting guys, they start making pistons, whatever, and then they have to get them recasted at some point and check the castings out, make sure that the castings haven't changed. Well, maybe I was at the end of the tooling and it was already marginally, you know, off, all right? So otherwise they wouldn't have made those pistons the way they did. If you look at the other new pistons, they're just totally different. Way more meat on them. They just, you know, they must weigh an ounce heavier. I don't know, crazy amount of weight heavier than what they used to be. So, but once you do the upgrade, then, you know, I don't see any reason why the rest of the motor isn't going to hold up. Just the pistons, look to me, they're just, you know, that sucks. Okay, that's why I say Ford sucks. And you know what? I've just had bad luck with them. I mean, look at how many problems I've had with this truck at that low of miles. My Chevys, never have that many problems with that many miles. Just the Fords, they always do. So anyway, just thought I'd give you guys a quick update on what it's like after it's been running. Yeah, it's done right. We're going to do a couple more fixes to this thing. If you're doing your motor, go to a guy who directly buys the product from Mahle. If you don't know who to do, if you go to, the guy I go to is, what's his name? Tim from Accurate Diesel. And I've been going to him for years. And this is not my first rodeo, guys. I've done many diesel trucks. So, and I've had a lot of them. And you know what? You know, I know not to buy a 6.4, and I wouldn't buy a 6.0 either. But some of you guys, they're not as bad. But the 6.7, oh my God, that's a joke too. Anyway, I got to run. Got calls coming in. Talk to you on the next video.